Well, hello, and welcome to another edition of Rooftop Tuesday. Today I'm doing a Q&A. I posted on Twitter and Instagram yesterday and said, hey, if anybody has any audio or video questions, I would do a Q&A today just because I've been too busy to think up things to do. Anyway, I got a lot of questions, only a few about actually audio or video production. Most of them were about ridiculous things. Oh, and as an audio person, I apologize for the wind. I don't have my wind cover on my new Rode VideoMic Pro Plus, so I apologize if there's wind sounds. Spencer Noe asks, how do you make music in both ears? Well, that's simple. You got to take your mono signal and put a chorus plug-in on it, and then it'll become a doubled mono or a stereo signal. First time I ever produced music was I was in a band called Titus, and I recorded all our stuff into Acid Pro on a PC, Sony Acid 4.0, and it was all on the right channel, and I couldn't figure out how to pan it over to the left channel. So I just realized that if you put a chorus plug-in on the audio, it would go to both channels. So all of our music had a disgusting chorus plug-in on each and every track. It was great. Thank you, Spencer. Love you. Stephen Zane, aka Zane Callister, aka Young Collective, asks, if you have a limited budget, what's more important to spend your money on? Audio or music? Great question, Zane. I think I know what answer you'd like to hear, and I think you know what answer I'm gonna give. Music, 100%. Sacrifice the audio if you have to. Don't sacrifice the music. Don't end up with some terrible audio jungle track on your project. Don't do it. Don't do it. New Folk asks, as a fellow scarf wearer, I'd like more information on your theory behind color and arrangement of scarves. Thank you. You know what, Caleb from New Folk, I want to talk about scarves. I just started wearing scarves a few years ago, and this is my #1 go-to scarf. I always go with the neutral colors, like the gray or the black. I do have a blue scarf, but I rarely wear it because how can it coordinate with your entire other outfit? So my typical go-to, this is my typical go-to, kind of like the double wrap, loose hang. However, if you're chilly, if it's a really cold day, I like to do the tie, where you pull it through like this, get it real nice and close, and you can kind of shut your jacket over it. I really like that one. Personally, it keeps your neck warm. Got the beard for your face, it's gonna keep your neck warm. Or if it's super cash, I sometimes just drape, you know? Kind of like the just chilling type of guy look, you know what I'm saying? But typically, I do this kind of double wrap, or I keep it loose, try to keep them even length. So it's actually a very windy day, and so I keep shifting my location to try and keep the wind off the VideoMic Pro Plus because I don't have the dead cat for it yet, and as an audio person, I just couldn't dare let something like wind be out of my control. Devin Neeson, aka Tristan Neeson, asks, where's Paul, what is Paul, and who is Paul? That's a great question. Paul is always around if you want him to be around. Katie Heights, she asks, describe your ideal date. Okay, Katie. You know what? My ideal date would be a really nice dinner, fine American dining, preferably a steakhouse with really robust sides like lobster mac and cheese, lots of good bread, and of course mashed potatoes. It would be with my wife, Heather, who I think is one of the most gorgeous women I've ever encountered, and yet she's also my wife, which is just a wonderful thing. It'd be the two of us together, no children, but we would have Georgia, our dog, with us. Georgia would be sitting at the table, and you know what? We would be in the mountains of Colorado, preferably in Breckenridge, and it would be the winter time. And after the date, we would have a cabin to go back to with lots of technological features like nice TVs, nice hot tubs, and all our best friends would be there, including you, Katie, and your husband, Brian, would be there with us. So let's make it happen. 2018, Heights' and Hughes' reunion. All right, what else do we got here? Kagan Tech. Kagan, good to see you, my man. Kagan asks, do you agree that you can't really get audio from a condenser to sound as good without an interface? A lot of people use straight USB setups on 3.5 millimeters in their setup. Yes, 100%. You cannot get as good of an audio signal without an interface because the interface is going to be so much better at the A to D and D to A, you know, the analog to digital, digital to analog conversion than inside a camera if you're using a 3.5 millimeter setup. Or for example, this Rode mic up here is gonna have a pretty nice signal because its D to A, or its A to D is happening inside the camera's hardware, but across the board. If you're using an interface, you're using a balanced signal, a balanced cable. The other thing is, if you use an interface, you're gonna have higher bit depths, higher sample rates, more quality recording coming from the engine inside the audio interface. Even if you're using a cheapo like a Focusrite or an M-Audio, one of those things, it's always gonna be better than direct. Who else asked a question? Sarah Dici did not ask a question, but it'd be sweet if she did. Carl Edmond. Carl asks, I'm curious as to how your lifestyle has changed after having a family, kids, etc. More specifically, when is your time to create/film your videos? Thanks for sharing your thoughts. Carl, great question. Here's the deal. My job is creating videos. So I work all day creating the videos that I'm paid to create. But as far as YouTube and fun stuff and passion projects, man, time is limited. And so my lifestyle has completely changed having a family, because now my evenings are completely consumed with being with my daughter, and I want it that way. I want to spend time with her and my wife. And so I just don't create anything between, 5 or 6 and 8, 9, or 10, depending on the night. And so what I have come to, I work at night. I mean, from the hours of like 8, 9, or 10 to midnight 1 or 2, I am up working. Either client work or passion work or YouTube work. It all completely depends on what's going on in a given week or a given month. So my lifestyle has changed because I've had to figure out how to be more effective and more efficient when I work. Both things I have traditionally sucked at. I usually just sit around with ideas in my head and don't execute. So if anything, having a family and having pressure to actually get stuff done when the time is there has helped me become more effective. So I think I said that in the live stream yesterday. The heavier the load, the straighter the truck drives. Thank you for everyone who submitted questions to this live Q&A, and by live I mean not live at all, fully edited. I'm gonna be kind of out of commission over the next week or two because I really need to devote all my time to editing this big project I'm working on. Mentioned it yesterday, don't have time to mention it now. Hit me up if you want to hear more details about it. Be sure and subscribe, share the channel with your friends. We've done a lot of growth recently and I'm excited to see how my channel grows in the future. Hey, and since we last talked, I've hit 1,000 subscribers and I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you very, very much. I know it may seem like I say that a lot, but it truly does come from the heart. I really honestly value each and every one of you that subscribe to the channel. And I hope that I get to know each and every one of you as we continue moving forward and inspiring each other. I think I'm gonna end it there and see you next time. All right.